Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Fundamentals of Fine Motor Part 2. This video is produced by the Houston Independent School District occupational therapist. I'm Rebecca Allen, and joining me is Eric Leon, Erica Gramillion Neal, Norma Rocha, and Christine Toledo. We are producing this video during this time of the COVID crisis, but it could be used for other times as well, to give parents, teachers, and students ideas of ways they can improve their fine motor skills by participating in functional routines in the home. So let's get started. Activities of fine motor. OTs and teachers use a range of interventions and strategies that support fine motor skill development. They usually integrate these strategies into functional routines within the classroom. So what we were hoping to do in this video is give you ideas that can be implemented during your own functional daily routines at home. We know everybody's busy. Everybody's a little stressed about this, and you have a lot of responsibilities. So we wanted to make sure you had a lot of ideas about ways you can help your student, your child, work on their fine motor skills while they're doing everyday activities. You don't have to set aside time for this. That's the hope, is that you can just implement them while you're doing the things that you do anyway. So some of the fine motor categories at home that we're highlighting are going to be household chores. That includes kitchen and meal preparation type activities, and also handy helpers, which includes things like laundry and cleaning. We're going to highlight tabletop activities that you might be doing with your students or with your child, or them doing by themselves, things like puzzles and other things. And then, of course, play and leisure activities, because that is hopefully part of every day. So one of the household chores that happen every day occur in the kitchen, usually 3 times a day. So some ideas about how to help your student participate in kitchen chores would be things like peeling oranges. Peeling oranges use fingertips and also provide some resistance and strengthening. And any resistance and strengthening adds to stability of the hand and therefore improves fine motor skills. Shelling boiled eggs is another thing where you use your fingertips and really fine manipulation to get those shells off. Peeling potatoes with the potato peeler is also a good activity. It also gives a little bit of resistance and improves the grip, but also uses eyes and hands together. Spreading peanut butter for your sandwich is another activity that students can do when they're making their sandwiches. So the next slide is going to be Eric. And Eric, take it away.
Thank you, Becky. Thank you, Rebecca. So continuing on with the kitchen. So something as simple as picking small pieces of food with the thumb and the index finger. I'm sure this is something already that your child is doing at home. So without even knowing it, your child was working already on fine motor skills. So for example, for breakfast meals, if they have a bagel or a roll or a muffin, and again, encouraging him or her to use their index finger, use their thumb, and just to grab onto some of those pieces of bread or bagel or anything really to put on into their mouths. That's working on fine motor skills. Again, they're using those small pieces or those small muscles to take small pieces. Those are all fine motor skills. Something else that also comes to mind is If you if they're going to make themselves a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, one of their first steps is to go to the refrigerator, open up the refrigerator, get the bag of bread, and then those twisties at the end of the bag, have them twist them open so that they're actually working on, again, those fine motor skills. And as we remember from the first video, the fine motor skills are basically using the small muscles in your hands along with your wrists. So have them use those fine motor skills to twist off those little ties to right before they make themselves a sandwich. Okay. Continuing on with some kitchen ideas, and again using some of the examples of making peanut butter and jelly, or any other sort of butter. Now there's almond butter, there's cashew butter, sunflower butter. So there's so many different types. But have the child open up the lid, open up the jar. So if it's too hard for the child to open it, what you can do first is you can open it just ever so slightly. Give it to the child, make sure it's a plastic one, maybe not a glass one, so if it falls, it doesn't break. So if it's a plastic one, give it to him or her, and then have them finish the sequence, have them finish the last step, so that they can then still participate in the activity, but not necessarily do all of it. And there's a fancy name for it. I'm not going to mention it here, but again, just give them that little push, and then they can finish off the last activity. For table washing or for cleaning the table, I'm sure that you have a spray bottle laying around at home. We all have one of those that we may have bought at the dollar store. Don't go out and and buy some, because right now we're supposed to stay home. But if you have one laying around, fill it up with water, fill it up with a little bit of soap, and then have them pull the trigger to squeeze the water out onto the table, or to squeeze some mist out onto the table, and then follow it up with wiping with a towel, so that they can then also work on their fine motor skills. So you may be thinking, well, how is that working on fine motor skills? Well, they're using their index fingers, their middle fingers. They're also holding on to that bottle with those wrist muscles. So they're using all of those fine motor skills that they typically that they typically have to develop. So just make sure that you give them that opportunity. If you don't have a spray bottle, don't worry. Just something that you can, just a regular bottle. You can put some water, some soap onto the table, and then have them use that towel to again wipe off some of that liquid from the table. So with food preparation, one of the things that you can do is, if you have a garlic press, have them press that garlic on with that garlic press using their thumb and index finger. But again, if you don't have a garlic press, like Rebecca said at the beginning, we're giving you some tips on things that you can do that you already have in your house or your daily routine. So if you don't have a garlic press, have the child squeeze some of that thumb, or squeeze that garlic with thumb and index finger, or for example, snapping off the ends of green beans, or if you're making a salad, again, before any of this, have them wash their hands really well, and then right after they're done washing their hands, maybe you can have them help you with making a salad, and then just ripping that lettuce up, ripping the lettuce leaves, so that they can then put it onto a bowl. That's again all fine motor skills with food preparation, so things that you're already doing on a daily basis. And let's say that now you're all sitting at the table, you're ready to eat dinner. If you have a salad or some rolls, have them use a tong to grab onto some of that salad or one of the rolls, or if you have ice cubes, have them grab some of those ice cubes with the tongs and place them onto a cup or a plate or whatever it is that they're serving. And again, they're working on some fine motor skills. They're working with those small muscles. If they're giving snacks during the day, let's say if you give them some tangerines or a little pinwheel, or just anything that you give them, instead of having them hold it just with their hands,
give them maybe one toothpick and then have them stick the toothpick inside the food and then bring it to their mouths. And again, they're using thumb, index finger, middle finger. Just depends on how big the toothpick is. Usually the little ones, they're going to just use just the thumb and the index finger. So for the next slide, we'll go over with Erica, and she'll tell you a little bit more.
Thank you, Eric. So continuation. So another area for fine motor skills is carrying a tray. You can carry a tray and have different items on it, drinks, food, and this is another way to build fine motor skills. The other area is drying dishes. You can have your child hold the dishes and get a drying towel and use their fingertips to wipe off the dishes. Also, you can wring out the sponges that you use for washing dishes and also the washcloths. So a continuation of household chores. This is our section that we like to call handy helpers. So with everyone being home, I'm sure there's a lot of laundry that needs to be done. So you can have your child unload the washing machine and place clothes in the dryer. And when the wet clothes are taken out of the washer, you can wring them out. And that also helps strengthen the finger grip. Also, you can have your child carry grocery bags inside, and they can reach inside the bags using their fingertips to place the canned goods or other items on the countertop. Also, your child can also participate in carrying recycling containers from the home to the collection bin as well. This area, I'm sure we all have a lot of junk mail that we receive in our mailboxes. You can have your child tear up all the recycling envelopes that you have, well, whatever you consider as junk, and put them in the trash. And if it's too thick, you can open it up and take out those papers and have them tear up the paper individually. Also, this can be done with old cereal boxes. They're used for recycling. You can do 4 or 5 sheets, which also increases the resistance, which helps improve fine motor skills. And if that's too difficult, you can reduce that down to 2 or 3 cereal boxes and tear that as well. And that also will help with fine motor skills. Another fun area could be using a hole puncher. This can be an activity where you can draw a picture of an animal or a flower or even a school book. And you can have your child punch holes all around that picture. And it also helps with strengthening the fingers and building fine motor skills. And also carrying different items that have weight in the house, that also will help build fine motor skills as well. Up next, we have Norma.
Thank you, Erica. So to talk about a little part of what Erica was saying about the laundry, the child can, if you have a lot of laundry, the child could separate the light colors, the dark colors, and the colored colors, and that way they're not mixed up in the wash, and you don't get any different kinds of different colors in your colored shirts. And another good point to look into is when the child is pouring the soap, make sure that they can twist the soap, the container, the top. And if you need to help your child, then you can help them with hand-over-hand assistance and help them pour the soap into the container, and then they can put it inside the washing machine. And then also help them set the dial to wash, so that way they know the correct order in how to wash their clothing. And then the tabletop activities, there are a variety of different tabletop activities, but for this purpose, we just used a few that are very good for fine motor skills, and also they're good also for a snack. So you could string popcorn, the Fruit Loops, and the Cheerios. I know a lot of children like that. And they could string it into a thread, and you can also use a plastic needle to help them string the popcorn, the Fruit Loops, and the Cheerios. Another fun activity can be the table hockey, where you use the straws and a cotton ball. If you don't have a cotton ball, you can use a small piece of wad up paper, and that can be used as a hockey puck to help for fine motor skills. And play and leisure. You can put coins in a bank. You can make your own little bank out of a container, a plastic container that you might have at home, and you just cut a slit in on the top, and then you just let them use the coins, but let them use their fingertips to pick up the coins and put them into the slot. And the play money, you can place coins on the table and have your child pick up the coins using their thumb, index, and middle finger without sliding the money from the edge of the table, and that way they can count the coins and pick up the coins as well. And for another fine motor activity, you can cut straws, you can cut cardboard for art projects, and you can use Play-Doh to make different figurines and twist and pull the clay. And if you don't have Play-Doh or clay, you can use your own. You can make your own with flour and water, and that acts as Play-Doh as well. And the next up will be Christine to cover play and leisure.
Animal walks. This floor activity provides an opportunity to bear weight on the hands and through the shoulders. Have your children walk like a bear or a dog on the floor surface. Tug of war. In a safe environment, engage the student in a moderate tug of war with various materials, such as old socks, thick rope, or any other appropriate material. Supervision is required. Legos, Legos, Legos. Allow the student to build from their imagination and from 2D models. Dirt digging. Using a protective hand covering, have your student dig in dirt with a hand trowel to prepare for plantings. Continuing on, use small pieces of crayon or chalk, about 1 inch to 1.5 inches long. This length will provide a mature grip. Present only small pieces as children tend to want long crayons. Vertical surface. Working on vertical surface encourages a mature grasp and improves shoulder and elbow stability. Place the activity at this eye level as this helps shoulder stability. Continuing on to vertical surfaces, while child is in a standing position, try having children do color or do art projects on a whiteboard. Tape a worksheet on an easel or a wall. Apply stickers. Try an ink stamping or placing in magnet letters activity on the refrigerator. Placing the grocery list on the refrigerator and having your student add to the list are great activities on a vertical surface. Sidewalk or front porch activities. Using chalk, motivate the child with writing and drawing activities outside. Play connect the dots on the sidewalk and draw long lines on the sidewalk. Remember, to help develop a mature grasp, break the chalk into smaller pieces.
Thank you, Christine. This was very good information, you all. Rebecca, Erica, Norma, thank you all for providing us with this information. We hope that you that are listening to this, whether you're a parent or a student or a teacher, during this time, during this COVID time, or maybe later on, this is going to be on YouTube for quite a while. So we hope that this information has given you some good pointers, some good ideas, kind of demystify some of the fine motor talk that you may have heard out there, that that you need someone specific to tell you what to do. This gives you an idea that day to day we have activities that we can incorporate into our daily routines, activities that we already may have already been doing, and that will help kids with fine motor skills. So we hope this gives you some good information. We hope that this gives you some good ideas. Just use this as your basis, as your foundation, and then as you're going into more into just the actual activities, you'll see that you'll start developing your own ideas. You'll start developing your own thoughts as to what could help your child with fine motor skills. So again, we hope this gave you some good information. Make sure that next week you join us again. We'll be tackling the topic of handwriting. This is going to be a hot topic because it's something that we have a lot of good information on. So we hope that you can join us. We hope that you will be part of it. If you haven't already, make sure that you subscribe to our channel. Make sure that you're liking our content. And we're going to keep bringing you some more content. So just make sure that you are following us on YouTube. And again, thank you so much for your time, and we hope to see you again next week. Thank you all.